Hey everybody, welcome back to See Mad Eat. A special guest, second time appearance, senior meteorologist Chris Vickers from WTOL.
Does this make me a regular then? If it's the second time?
Super fan is what I like to call it.
A super fan?
Yes.
I think that's even an upgrade over regular.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so too. So Chris, we're here at Lazy Boy this morning because we just did something very exciting. We gave away a $10,000 shopping spree as part of the St. Jude Dream Home campaign here in Toledo.
That's making someone's life a huge difference. And I'll ask you too, how often do you give away $10,000? Not often,
once
right?
a year.
Yeah, once a year, and it's for a great cause. Couldn't think
Yes.
of a better cause. The $10,000 Lazy Boy shopping spree, part of the St. Jude Dream Home giveaway, which really is just a huge community collaborative effort to get everyone together to support St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Couldn't think of a better cause, and it does such great work. We just made someone's dream come true with some $10,000 in free furniture as well.
Absolutely. And I want to tell y'all, this guy right here, he is the best ambassador for St. Jude for Toledo could ever have. I think he's right up there with Danny Thomas. They're
Well-
probably going to put a statue of you down in
jeez.
Memphis there in front of the hospital one day.
There's some big shoes to fill. You know, Danny Thomas is our hometown hero. I just think it's just so refreshing and just so uplifting for this community to know that we have such a monumental historical figure that went on to do great things, but also his legacy and message lives on today in the form of St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which is working to defeat childhood cancer.
Right.
The things that they do at St. Jude, never requiring any family to ever pay for treatment, travel, housing, or food.
Yes.
When they're down at St. Jude, they take care of everything because they just want the parents to focus on the kids.
Yeah. One other thing I like to point out too, I'm a huge fan of St. Jude because they share their research with all the other hospitals all around the country. If your child's at U of M and there's a question, they can call down to St. Jude and it's an open book.
And no one else can do it like that because St. Jude is basically supported by the people. It's the
Right.
people's hospital. It's donations. It's programs like this that go to fund St. Jude. So they don't have restrictions on what they can do with their research. They just say, we want to freely share this to everyone with that goal that Danny Thomas had, that no child should die in the dawn of life. We want to defeat childhood cancer. And they're going to do it with the research that they have and the goals, the ambitious goals that they have for the future. We'll get to a point where we defeat childhood cancer.
All right, one more question before we get to our review
Yeah.
today. You know, Lazy Boy is very involved with St. Jude because we've had some employees who have been touched with cancer, or their children have. What makes you step up to the plate for Toledo in this cause?
You know, as a dad and as a father that has just been blessed with healthy children, you know, I look at my kids and I think I've had it so good with the children that I have. But I see other families and I've met with these families. I've sat face to face with the families, and one story in particular stands out. I had a father tell me his son was given a 10% chance of living. He said, that's not good enough. He goes, I'm going to go to St. Jude. And in 12 weeks, they had him eradicated from cancer, no evidence of disease. So the treatment, the radiation, the chemotherapy, it was intense. He did several hundred rounds of treatment to get through his cancer. But he is alive and well today. And his dad looked me in the eye, and I'll never forget this too. I asked him, so what would you say to Danny Thomas today if you could say something to him? He said, I would shake his hand. To a man that I've never met, I would shake his hand and tell him, thank you for saving my child's life.
Wow. Well, I'll shake your hand. Thank you for all you do for
Absolutely.
Toledo and St. Jude. It's incredible.
I've worked up an appetite now.
All right, good. So I ran into these guys a couple weeks ago
What do we got?
that have Nooney's snack chips, Nooney's potato chips. This is a Toledo-based company. They're made here in Ohio.
Sure.
And camerawoman Rhonda said they tasted to her like a little bit of like an all-dressed chip.
Okay.
And so the guys heard about See Mad Eat, and they said, would you do a review for us? And so I've been kind of holding off because I knew I had a celebrity coming into Lazy Boy, and I wanted to have a chance to get Chris back on the show again.
You know, I'm interested right now because I read here, it says the explosion of flavors is smacking you right across the mouth.
Smacker chips, that's what they
I
call
like
them.
it.
I do too.
I like it.
So these are distributed around town, Churchill's Market, Monette's, and a lot of other places, but that'll be a good start for you. So let's dig in here, okay? And as you know, as guest judge, you do the first review. So whenever you're ready.
Kind of like a fine wine, I'm going to take a sniff. I'm going to take a sniff first. All right. Boy, I got some good thoughts about this.
Go ahead, let's hear it.
So I like the first thought right here. The explosion of flavor, the first thing that I taste is almost like a little vinegar. Maybe like malt vinegar. Big fan of the like malt vinegar on French fries
Yeah.
out at the county fair. I get the malt vinegar first, and then it ends salty. Salty, then a little savory at the final touch.
Good call.
How
Good
about
call.
you?
I'll tell you, I'm a huge fan of the rigid chip rather
Right.
than the flat one. Mainly for dipping, but this chip I don't believe needs a dip.
No.
I think it might even take away from it a little bit.
Right.
Now, if you were thinking it was a little too spicy, I could see a dip maybe kind of counterbalancing that flavor. But the crunch, a nice hearty chip, and that's what I like about it.
I'm getting a little more of the spice right now. Another flavor I'm picking up on is a little mustard hint to it. A little hint of mustard, maybe a slight flavoring of garlic. Very good. I could eat a whole bag and more.
Well, I got you that bag, so you can have that whole bag. That's the beauty of C-Matty.
Can't eat just one, right?
That's right. So, so again, I love local stuff. He made, or the company distributes them out of Toledo. They're made here in Ohio. Nooney's. Look around at the store. You're going to find them. I was at Monette's, and they're right by the checkout stand. $1.49. I mean, the dollar store is now $1.25. So,
Right, yeah.
that's a pretty good deal. Thank you for doing this. Thanks for all you do for St. Jude.
Absolutely.
We certainly can't thank you enough for that. That's just incredible. And everybody, subscribe to that YouTube channel, and don't forget to see Matt eat.